What's going on, YouTube? I'm the Brotator Chip, and today we are going to be doing a video where I'm going to show you how to get a perfect investigation bonus on Nightmare mode now that the Chronicle update is out. We're going to be doing this on Edgefield, but before we even get started, I want to answer a question I get a lot, so that way I can try to help out new players as well. If you are struggling with the 2 evidence Nightmare difficulty, you can do Professional. I recommend doing Professional. Then, instead of getting your 3 evidences, only get 2 pieces of evidence. Then take a guess at what you think the ghost is based on what it's doing in the round. Then, once you have your guess solidified in your brain, don't leave the round. Get your 3rd piece of evidence and see if you were right. This is going to give you an environment to ensure that you are correct without actually getting anything wrong. You can double check yourself before you even leave, and if you can consistently keep getting it correct, then you know you're ready to move on to Nightmare mode. This will give you a situation where you can try to learn, but not get you frustrated because you're not making any money by getting the ghost wrong. So I highly recommend going down that path if you are struggling with Nightmare mode. But hopefully from this video, it'll make Nightmare mode a little bit more easy for you, maybe answer some questions you had, and if you're a newer level, newer player, or newer prestige, we're going to do it with tier 1 gear only so I can show you how that works now the Chronicle update is out. So let's get into it. Going into Edgefield. Now, I recognize that I actually don't do a lot of Edgefield in my videos, and I think the reason for that is, for no evidence gameplay, Edgefield just isn't that great. It's not a very wide map, so it's not friendly for a lot of ghost testing. But on Nightmare or Professional or even Insanity, it's a very good map. It has a lot of great hiding spots available to you, and it's easy to break line of sight from the ghost in a simple fashion. So we're going to show how this all works here. Now, when I'm doing Nightmare difficulty, I have to find the ghost room quickly. So the first thing I'm going to bring in is I'm going to bring an EMF, thermometer, and I'm going to bring in a flashlight. If I had tier 2 gear, I would definitely bring in a tier 2 headlamp, and I would just bring in UV. But since I'm using tier 1 gear, I want to bring in the flashlight so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Let's go ahead and get in there and try to find where the ghost room is by first getting the power on, right? Because when we get the power on, all the temperatures are going to be a little bit more normal. Especially if it's colder outside with weather. Like if you have snow, the whole house is going to be like 5 degrees. You want to get that power on quickly. The power is here in the garage. Good thing about Edgefield, too, there's only 2 power locations. One's in the garage, one's in the basement. And that's it. So you have a very easy time trying to find it. So looking at my thermometer here, we can see that the natural temperature in this location is roughly hovering around 10 degrees. Now remember, with tier 1 thermometer, it has a little bit of a fluctuation of a couple degrees. So if you see it go up and down, that's totally normal. What you're looking for is when you enter a room and it starts going down consistently and not going back up. That's how you know you're inside of your ghost room. And also as well, you want to ensure that you're keeping your ears very alert. So that way, if you hear any ghost interactions, door touches, throws, etc., ghost events even, it's going to help you figure out where the ghost is without having to get thermometer at all. You can confirm with thermometer once you're there that that's the ghost room, but you'll know sooner. So we're going to keep looking throughout the rest of the house and see if we can find those cold temperatures or any other indication that an interaction is taking place by a paranormal entity. And while we're doing this, we're going through each room looking for possible bone and cursed possessions as well. Because sometimes your cursed possession can help you find the ghost room. You always want to keep an eye out for that possibility. And also, as you're going through the hallways, look to see if you have any possible hiding spots available for later on in your round. Now look at this right here. We have a book just randomly floating on top of the bed, which is very odd indeed. Now this is also the spot where Floppy Frank the voodoo doll would spawn, so we don't have the voodoo doll this round. Also notice that as I'm talking here, there's breath coming out of my mouth. And you can see it inside the environment. When you see that, that lets you know that the temperature inside the room is 5 degrees Celsius or less. It may not show it on my thermometer just yet, but you can tell it's going down, but that's a guarantee it's 5 degrees Celsius or less, which more than likely indicates that you do have a ghost room where you're standing. But just remember, if it's snowing outside, you're going to see that breath everywhere, so don't take that for granted if it's snowing. Make sure you get the breaker on so it heats the temperatures up. Now that we have the ghost room, and we've been kind of roaming around in the dark for a little bit, I'm going to take 1 sanity pill to try to restore some of the lost sanity I have. And I'm going to grab some more equipment to find our evidence. I'm going to take in spirit box, book, and a video camera. And I'm going to leave my flashlight behind for right now. Now, the big downside to having tier 1 video camera and tier 1 tripod is that it's a very small screen, so if you're looking for orbs from your hand when you're holding the camera, it's hard to do, especially for me, somebody that has hard vision. And then the tier 1 tripod doesn't rotate inside the van. You have to make sure your camera placement's good because you won't be able to move it unless you come back in to move it yourself manually. We just turned on the radio. So what I just did is I held down my right click button and I got a video of that. So let's see here. We have radio playing, our first video. So I'm going to put down my video camera here. Also, if you have a bathroom in one of these rooms, that also can have a ghost orb in it. So make sure you're checking for a ghost orb inside of those bathrooms if it's connected to the actual room in Edgefield. Where are you? How old are you? Are you angry? Are you scared? Are you happy? Are you sad? Do you want us to leave? Are you nearby? So you can see here that when my actual spirit box is on, you see that like that little red button there to the left side that says power. Then if I hold down my push to talk button, you're gonna see that white icon appear. Then when I ask a question, where are you? It's gonna register that question and give you a little red dot where that ghost symbol is if it understands your question. Now, if it actually responds to that question, instead of the red dot after your question, it's going to give you a white dot letting you know that it responded with something. Also, remember that if you're doing Spirit Box in the ghost room, you do have to have the lights off on the ceiling and no lamps either. You can have a flashlight on, that's totally fine, but just no lights inside of the room. It won't work properly. Where are you? How old are you? Are you angry? Are you scared? Are you happy? All right, we do not have any spirit box. Let's check our temperature again. We do have a door moving somewhere. I don't know what door that was. Might have been that door right there. Either way, I totally missed the interaction, so we're done with that. I was trying to get a video, I didn't get there in time. But with the thermometer here, we can see that our red line is well below 0, which means we have freezing temperatures, so that is our first piece of 2 evidences. On Nightmare, you will only have 2 types of evidence. Now, I wanted to just raise a point with the lit flame that was here and the fact that it blew it out as well. There is one ghost that cannot light a flame on its own, and that's the Onryo. The reason for that is the Onryo is actually scared of flames. Since it's scared of flames, it's never going to light a light source on its own like that. So you can do any sort of electrical light source, that's totally fine for Onryo. It's just the flame that it's afraid of. The ghost that's afraid of light sources like light bulbs and lights inside the house and everything like that would be a mare. And then the ghost that doesn't like the breaker on would be a Hantu. So I just want to clear up all that confusion if you ever have any questions like that. Let's check our camera inside of the house. And by doing that, we're going to go inside of our CCTV camera here. And we're going to go to video camera on the top middle. There we have one video camera inside. We're going to click video 01. And you can see here that we do have the video camera in place. Now, you have an option to turn on and turn off night vision by hitting this NV button, and start a recording by hitting REC. And we just actually got some sort of recording by doing that, just out of some random luck. What was that? That was a thrown object. So the moment I hit REC, we got very lucky and got a thrown object there. So I'll take that as a win for sure. So that's 2 video evidences. I like to try when I'm getting perfect games to separate and designate times to each one of the media. Videos are first because videos are very easy in my opinion. Then photos, then sound. But you can do whatever you'd like. I just like to go ahead and focus on one at a time, because if I don't focus at one at a time, I don't really get a whole lot done. And then I end up getting confused and I kind of lose track of time. Especially when I'm streaming and trying to get perfect games, I need to focus on one thing at a time, or else I have ADHD brain and I just forget everything that I'm doing. So what are we going to bring in next? I'm going to bring in a crucifix to protect myself, an incense, an igniter that's not going to take up an inventory spot, and probably dots as well, because we still need one more piece of evidence. We only have 1 so far. And there's no ghost orb. So if there's no ghost orbs, there's no mimic, because mimic has to have a fake ghost orb in the room, no matter what. Since we didn't get anything on Spirit Box, there's 2 ghosts that guarantee that you need Spirit Box in order to have them. Moroi and Deogen. Deogen's not possible because we have freezing temperatures, but since we don't have Spirit Box response, it can't be Moroi, because if Moroi wouldn't be able to do its ability. So what else do we have? We have freezing temperatures, so Hantu is a possibility. Hantu requires guaranteed freezing. Goryo would require guaranteed dots, but that's not possible, so we don't have to worry about that. So there's nothing else right now that we can eliminate at the given time besides Onryo, because it lit that flame in the hallway, remember? We talked about that. Onryos can't light their own flames, but Onryo's out of here as well. So when you're doing Nightmare mode, it pays to know just a little bit of ghost abilities, because it's going to make your gameplay so much easier while you're doing evidence gathering. So if we got dots, it could possibly be Yuri or Oni. So let's go in and get our dots in there, see if they're wrote in the book, and maybe also bring in a UV later on. We're not there yet, but we're going to bring in a UV later on. I always recommend to have an incense and an igniter somewhere. Like, you should always have an igniter on you because it doesn't take up an inventory spot. That's why I always say that line over and over again, because people forget their igniter in the truck constantly and then can't light their incense to support themselves. But other than that, you should always have an incense somewhere in case you need backup and defense. Let me see if I can get this on this table. That's not great. Try that. That's better. So now we have pretty good display on dots here. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to put my crucifix right in the center of the room, too. EMF 3 on our EMF reader. Our book doesn't even seem to be on the floor anymore. I wonder if it threw the book. I don't even know where the book is. I know I definitely put it right there when we were last here, but I don't see it now. Ooh. He just rang the phone. I don't think I'm going to get that in time, unfortunately. But if you got a phone ring... Oh, we did! We got it in time, okay. So when it rang that phone here on this desk, I got a video recording of it in time. So I picked up my video camera and got that. Is that our book? Wait a minute, that's the bone. What is the bone doing in there? Okay. This is not our book. This is the book inside of the room. But I'm assuming our book has been thrown somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. So if it threw the book and you're on nightmare mode or insanity mode, you can't say for guarantee that it's not going to be writing. Why is that? And I know that can be confusing to players. It's because since you're only going to get... Oh my god. The reason we can't just disregard ghostwriting entirely is because, let's say, for example, we had freezing temperatures and we had Spirit Box. We know it's not going to be Maroi, but let's say it was, right? So if you had a Maroi, you would need guaranteed Spirit Box for the possibility of a Maroi. But the one piece of evidence that it's going to be hiding is going to be ghostwriting. So it could have rated the book, but since it's not going to this round, it can still throw it. You can't go ahead and say it's not going to be ghostwriting because it still could be the Maroi. So if it's that one piece of evidence is hiding or two pieces of evidence hiding on insanity mode, you can't disregard it. So if you see the book get thrown on amateur, intermediate, or professional, then you can disregard it altogether. So for right now, we're still looking for our second piece of evidence. I'm going to now go grab my UV because I think it's time to do that. Because it's been touching a lot of stuff. We want to see if we have UV or not. We may also want to bring in salt at some point too, because salt is going to help us get possible UV footprints, which could be another unique type of photo. Fun fact here, fingerprints and footprints, two different types of unique photos. So if you ever have UV, you're going to have a very easy time filling up your journal. Let's grab that. We'll come back for salt later on. Actually, I think I have enough inventory spots to grab it now. Let's do that. I do. Perfect. Even better. Our sanity must be getting a little bit low now, so I might have to grab a hiding spot here soon, which we already know where it was because we looked for it early on. Hiding spot's right here in this closet. Oh, it ate that cruci. Yeah, see? Good thing. And it knocked over my tripod, too. All right. It did not leave any UV and salt. I'm just going to check some of the stuff around just to see. I don't see any UV on any of these doors either. But we have an event. The reason I knew that was an event is because it closed the door as a result. When the ghost events, it can close a nearby door and turn off lights. I incensed it. This is an actual hunt now. Now, Nightmare has a very small amount of grace period. The time between when the ghost starts hunting and you hear those paranormal sounds and when it manifests and start moving. Notice that we were able to hear the ghost doing something, but we didn't see it yet. That was grace period. So it probably has like 1 or 2 second grace period. That's why I pre-repelled, and that way when it spawned, the smoke would already be in the air and grab it. It disoriented for me. And I believe the hunt is over. All right, so UV is not going to be what we're looking for, unfortunately. More than likely, what we're missing is dots. And tier 1 dots is always a bit of a pain because it's hard to actually get that to happen. I might hold it here in front of the door and just see if I can get it to happen. Because when you're holding it, you have the best view of dots coverage by far. Just threw something. I'm going to pick up my EMF reader and check for EMF. Only EMF 3. Only EMF 3, so nothing crazy there. Stepped in salt again. Still no UV on that. Come on, Ghosty, show me your dots. We just had a levitating object of the phone. And that phone throw has an EMF 3 as well. Oh, I think I just saw dots. I just saw him by the corner of my eye. I saw her crawling on the floor, like, right here. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Okay, we just managed to get inside of the closet in time. But I definitely saw dots there. So we have dots in freezing. Yuri or Oni. Oni is a very visible ghost. It hardly blinks at all or disappears during a hunt. It's very visible, easy to see. The Yuri will do a door slam ability. So we'll try to keep an eye out for both those things as we go throughout the hunt. After this hunt, I'm going to go take more sanity meds and try to get some media. Cool. Hunt's over. Let's go. Back to the van we go. Now it's time to fill up the rest of our videos, then do photos, and then do sounds. I'm going to take 2 sanity pills because I think I'm pretty low. We're going to bring a photo camera in, I should say. And I'm going to bring in firelight. I'm going to bring in firelight and salt. And we don't know what our cursed possession is yet, do we? It is not going to be music box. Not going to be tarot cards. Not going to be mirror. What about monkey paw? Monkey paw. Okay. Got a photo of monkey paw. That's 1 unique photo there. Now I'm going to put down a candle and salt inside of the ghost room. And I'm going to take a photo of burnt crucifix as well. Burnt crucifix is a unique photo. We can try to get a video of it walking through salt or blowing out a firelight. Both of those will count as a unique video. And also, a fun fact too, if you have the ghost blow out a candle, that can also be a sound as well. You can utilize that to your benefit. So we're going to hold down our recording button. Oh, that was a ghost event behind me, but it did blow out the candle. And I don't think I got that in time, unfortunately. Nah, I didn't get that in time. Darn. Let's relight it. That was a door touch right here. And I believe we got a video of that. Surprisingly, we didn't. Surprisingly, it didn't count. Okay, I must have not got there in time either. A lot of objects being thrown behind me. I wonder if it's moving out to the hallway right now. Let me see if I can see my breath more in the hallway or more inside the room, because that'll give me an indication of what room it might be in. I don't see my breath out here. I only saw it when I was inside the doorway, so it's in here, this room still. But it could be roaming around a little bit. And we have a firelight blown out. That's a video. Perfect. It has turned on the shower as well. And that could also be some sort of interaction on your video camera if you got there in time, but we did not. So we need 1 more video now. Ooh, perfect. Video of light flickering from the red light event. So now we have all unique videos. This is a hunt. Get inside the closet. Always going to try to find that hiding spot, the closest possible area to the ghost room. That way you know where you're going in a hurry and you don't have to try to run from the ghost while it's seeing you. Because the more the ghost sees you, the more it's faster it's going to get because it has line of sight speed, typically. The ghosts that don't have line of sight speed, though, in the game would be, take these away real quick, Fae, Deogen, Hantu, and Revenant. Those don't get faster the longer they see you. They can get an initial boost of speed like the Revenant when they do see you, but it's not going to continuously get faster after that point. Put our evidence back in the journal there. I believe we had an event after there as well. So now it's time to actually get photos. We need photos. Now, we could get a photograph of freezing temperatures. We could do that with our thermometer. Photo the thermometer, freezing temperatures. That one's done. That's an easy one, too. So now that we have all of our videos here, and we have a couple photos working on with the freezing temperatures and everything, I'm going to get a bone photo. Because the bone has to be gathered no matter what to get a perfect game. So we already know our bone's over here because we stumbled upon it completely by accident. To be honest, if I didn't stumble upon that by accident, I may never have found it, because that's a pretty hard hiding spot to see. So we have bone. So now we just need 1 more photo. 1 more photo. So I'm going to try something with the monkey paw to see if this is going to work. I wish for sanity. Now that is going to bring me up to 50% sanity. Now I'm going to try something else. And hopefully the ghost is nearby so this works. I wish to see the ghost. Hello? I don't see the ghost at all. What was that? Oh my god. Was that the doll in here? That was a creepy noise. I didn't like that at all. It sounded like the ghost interacted with the doll. So I'm assuming what's happening right now, unfortunately, is there's a couple bugs going out with the monkey paw since the Chronicle update. I think I just experienced one, because what should have happened is I should have wished to see the ghost, and then it should have showed itself in a ghost event for a couple seconds, so I could have tried to get a photo, and then it would have disappeared again, taken my vision from me just for that hunt only, and then hunted as normal, with a curse hunt, of course. But unfortunately, that didn't last very long. You saw my vision go away, and it never actually hunted, it just stopped. So it's a bug, and hopefully they're going to address it soon. The ghost is hunting right now. We're going to wait for it to stop. We can also try to get a photo of Dot's ghost too, but with the tier 1 dots, that's a little tricky. I don't think this ghost is going to end up giving me dirty water. Even though it's so close to a bathroom, I doubt it. And the ghost seems to be moving around a little bit, like it's hunting in different locations, so I think its favorite room is changed. And if you ever want to figure out where its favorite room has gone to, you can go, take the thermometer, and see where the coldest temperature room is now. Which we may do just for the sake of educational purposes. Ghost coming back up the staircase right now. And I can tell it just came back up the staircase because I can hear that its sounds have come and become clearer to me. And they're not muffled like they are when they're downstairs or on a different floor than you. Thermometer's back in the inventory. Temperature in here is no longer freezing. And it's turned on a light. So actually, it just helped us out. It's inside this room probably. Makes sense too because it threw that doll. So now this is the ghost room for sure. It was probably roaming around a little bit, and now I can tell for sure that this is the ghost room. It's going back down from 10 to 5, and it's going down below 5 as well. This is your ghost room. It just goes to show there's so much inconsistencies and variations with a tier 1 thermometer. I would highly recommend going and upgrading tier 2 thermometer as quickly as you possibly can. It's going to help your gameplay out a lot. All right. So what I think I'm going to do is I want to know what our ghost is. I think that's important at this point because we have the possibility of Yuri or Oni. And I haven't really seen any Yuri door slams or heard any. So I'm wondering if it's going to be an Oni. The best way to figure that out is to get an incense, my igniter, which is already in my inventory spot, remember? And then I'm going to try to look at the ghost and look at its blinking patterns and see if it's going to be Oni blinking or not. We'll figure that out together. And while it's doing that, I'm also going to try to get a photo of it. Maybe we can get a ghost photo during the hunt. Oh, it turned off the breaker. Well, we know the breaker is. We know where it is. We can get it back on. I want to get that breaker on so you can all see the blinking patterns with me and we can have a good visibility with lighting. Go back inside living room. Could be hunting again soon. Yeah, I heard the door just lock at the front door. It's coming this way. I got my incense ready. I got my photo cam ready. And that is a very, very visible ghost. That is going to be Oni. That's a photo. Going upstairs. Now notice that ghost was so visible. And the only time that it ever blinked or disappeared during the hunt was for a split second, not even a full second, like a fraction of a second. And then it came right back into frame and maintained that formation, that manifested form. So did we get the photo? Yes, we did. We got the photo, and that's a terrifying photo. I'm not going to lie to you. So now the only thing we need left to finish off our round with a perfect game. Motion sensor, no problem. We can get that. And the motion sensor is actually great to put down in the ghost room to get a video of it, because any ghost could walk through the motion sensor. When it does, that's a video evidence. So that's always a good one to try to do as well. We didn't need it because the ghost basically fed us so much easy video evidence with the radio playing and object thrown and ghost ringing, phone ringing and stuff like that. So we didn't even need it, but it's definitely a good thing to get. Let's go back in the van, grab our motion sensor, get that in here quickly. We got to bring our sound recorder too. We need sound recorder. Tier 1 sound recorder. This is not something I'm actually very familiar with. I haven't used it too much at all. We're back here for motion sensor as well. So I'm wondering if it's still inside of the nursery. It could have changed rooms again, but for right now, what I'll do is I'm going to put it right here because when it hunts, it more than likely is going to go downstairs for a guarantee. So no matter what, it'll probably hit that. Oh, here we go. Back in the hiding spot. Oh, don't you come in here. Yep, and think it just went through the motion sensor because it went downstairs. So it's always good to put your motion sensor for that objective in an area you know the ghost is going to go if it's hunting or roaming. That way you know you're going to get it guaranteed no matter what. Should be done here in a second. Now, I know it's going to be done when that light turns off there. Perfect. The lights get turned off when the ghost hunt is over. Let's also bring over our firelight here because that could be used for sounds. Could be our firelight. And I'm going to get another crucifix in here later on as well, because if it eats a crucifix, that will also be used for a sound. And since it's coming out of that room and it's such a small room, it should eat the crucifix no matter what. As long as it doesn't roam out of that room. We still have the incense on us for protection if need be. If by some chance the crucifix fails, we'll have the incense to protect us. Okay. Oh, we got something. Oh, I might have got a sound recording just now. Let me see. I did. Oh, it's hunting. Oh, no, it's not. It's an event. Okay, thank goodness. Woo. Now it's hunting. Let's wait for it. I'm going to incense it. Unfortunately, hunted just outside the room. It evented outside, and then when it events, it has an opportunity to stay in that event spot for a couple of seconds before going back to its favorite room, and that's exactly what it did. It evented out in the hallway, broke the light bulb, spawned right there and hunted, did what it had to do. So thankfully, we had our incense on us. But notice for that tier 1 sound recorder, I had the light start to blink up, and when I saw the lights get past that halfway point here, like where it says 12, it got a little bit above 12, I had my recording already going. And when I had that recorder going, it recorded the sound, and I made sure I held down my right click for sound recording until the sound completely depleted. Make sure you're not only recording half of the sound, you have to record the whole sound or it won't count. So remember that. Oh, we got something there. There we go. That's paranormal laughing. So you're noticing that we're using the lights as an indicator as to how close we are to the sound. And when the lights light all the way up, we're basically on top of it. But you have to be recording the whole time. So we have paranormal laughing, paranormal talking, and sadly, no burnt crucifix or firelight yet. Dots, that would have been a good photo if you needed Dots photo. And there's a sound recording of the firelight being blown out for our last sound. Let's get outside and check our journal. Go into the van. Get out of this heavy rain. Okay. So quick overview to make sure we actually have a perfect game now that we've gathered everything. All 3 objectives are completed. We have 5 unique types of photos. We have 5 unique types of videos. Oh, we have, oh, wait. Wait a minute. Why is the photo ringing a duplicate? We did not get a phone ringing in any other time. That looks like a bug to me. That should be a unique. Because we got radio playing, which is not the same as phone ringing. They're 2 different things. So I'm going to delete this. I think we're having some sort of a bug right now. So I'm going to delete that, and we're going to go back in for another video for sure. But for the time being, we also have 3 unique sounds. And I'm going to lock it Oni because that's our ghost. See, this is why I always recommend to people at the end of the round, make sure that it's all unique and you have everything. Because if you don't, you're going to get to your details section, and you're going to be very upset because you did all that hard work. And it was unfortunately ruined for nothing. So always double check. So we need 1 more video. So I think what's time to do is I'm going to get a video of the ghost hunting actively. Let's do it. Let's do it. Was it hunting? Oh, it is. Oh, hi. It's going to be a little dark, but we're going to try. Let's see if we can get this off. Here we go. Ghost is done. I'm going to repel it. And I'm going to go up to the hiding spot. That old trusty hiding spot we've been using pretty much all around. We got a video of the ghost now. Ghost hunting. That's our last unique. So when the hunt is over, we can leave. Hunt's over. I can hit the light switch. If the light switch is movable, it's not hunting. If the light switch is not movable and not interactable, it is actively hunting or venting somewhere. All right, let's see. Let's double check again. And real quick call out here that I just want to remind everybody of, if you're using the tier 1 igniter, always make sure that you have more matches in the box, because if I use all the matches in the box, it's no longer usable. And you're going to be carrying around an empty box with nothing in it, and you're never going to know. See? I have an empty box, and if I try to pull something from it now, there's nothing in there. You'd have to come back to the van and grab another pack. So just remember that. It is consumable, and it does deplete. 3 objectives. 5 unique photos, 5 unique videos, and 3 unique sounds. Ghost type locked in. One of the photos was the bone, so we have that for sure. Let's get out of here. That is the perfect investigation on Edgefield Nightmare. Fantastic. $2,065. And one thing I want to remind everybody about when they're thinking about getting a perfect game, and is it actually worth it? I honestly think it is, only if it's going to take you like 10 additional minutes after you figure out the ghost to get it, though. Any more than that, maybe it's not worth it. Because when you look at it, you get this perfect investigation bonus of 225 XP and monetary rewards. You get 85 media additional on top of that, too. And you get the bone as well. So you got 25, 85, 225. So it does actually end up being quite a significant increase depending on what you would have gotten otherwise. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that the Chronicle update has increased the amount of money you're getting from media now than you were before Chronicle. The reason for that is it's taken the money and XP you got from media and it's multiplying it by your reward multiplier. So in this case, it multiplied it by 4. So if you do like an 8 times multiplier, 9, 10, etc., it can actually end up being a significant amount of money in XP. So the higher multiplier you do, the more money you're going to get as a result. Not just from getting the ghost right, but from your perfect game too. So keep that in mind, and it is definitely worth it if you can get it done in a significant amount of time. That's not like 20, 30 minutes. And that is how you get a perfect investigation bonus with Tier 1 gear on Nightmare mode, after the Chronicle update, of course. So everybody, if you're looking to get into Nightmare gameplay, hopefully you found this beneficial and a useful source of information. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions on what you would like to see in future videos, put it down in the comment section below. And thank you for all the support you guys have shown the YouTube channel. It really does mean a lot. Thank you to all the new subscribers out there. Until I see you all next time, happy ghost hunting and stay crispy.